Light Up Firefly. So let's take a look and see what we have inside our kit. Very important instructions, step by step, so we know what to do. I'm going to put those to the side so I can read them while we go. A piece of very cool reflective silver paper that we're going to use to make the wings for our firefly. 2 lovely little wiggly eyes for the eyes for our firefly. 4 pipe cleaners that we're going to use for the legs and antenna. These could be any color. They're going to be all different colors. Mine happen to be black and orange. A battery-operated tea light. So let's turn this on for the light of our firefly because, you know, fireflies light up. I think that's just the coolest thing. Fireflies, I think they're amazing. And then an egg that we're going to use for the body. All right, now things that you're going to want to add to this kit so that you can do everything that you need to make your firefly. You're going to want to add a pair of scissors and a pencil to draw and cut out your wings. A marker or colored markers. Mine's black, but you could use colored markers if you wanted to make a smile or decorations on your eggshell. And a push pin or something else sharp that you're going to use to first poke holes. And then you're also going to use the end of your scissors to widen that hole to push your pipe cleaner through. So I'm going to move these things off to the side, and we are going to put the camera down like this so you can see what I'm doing. Now here's my egg. This is going to be the head of my firefly, and this side is going to be the body. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take our pin or other sharp object and push holes in the top of the head to make holes to push our pipe cleaners through for our antenna. Now the push pin isn't going to make them quite big enough to get our pipe cleaner through without stripping it. So once you've poked that initial hole, you might want to get a big person to help you with this, but you're going to take your scissors and you're going to use them in the hole you've already created to widen it enough to get the pipe cleaner through it. Again, be very, very careful. We want to make sure that we're not poking fingers or brothers and sisters or family members, anybody else that's with us. We're just going to make these big enough for the pipe cleaner to go through. See how I've made that hole wider? And now I feel like let's push this one a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so now I have the holes for my pipe cleaner to go through. I'm going to take this pipe cleaner and I'm going to put it through on this side here like this and pull it through like that. Pull, pull. And see, now it's coming through without the pipe cleaner being stripped. And I'm going to bend it and push the other end of the pipe cleaner through the other hole that I made and pull that through. And now I've got kind of what look like antenna, and I'm going to curl them up. Now you can do it by wrapping them around your finger like this. You can use a pencil if you want to make a tighter coil. Or you can make them really any kind of shape that you want your antenna to be. All right, I'm going to try using this on this side and maybe make a tighter coil and see which one I like better. And then we'll do the finished antenna. So I'm just kind of wrap that around and pull it out. So I don't know, which one do you think? Oh, I kind of like this one. So I think I'm going to do the same thing with this side. I'm going to use this to kind of make a coil. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's fun. So there are my antenna for my firefly. Now we need to make holes for the legs, and you have 3 more pipe cleaners for that. Now, as you know, fireflies have 6 legs. So we're going to make a hole on one side and then directly across from it, a hole on the other side. And we're going to make 3 of those, 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Now I'm going to use my marker to mark where I'm making those holes so I can kind of make sure that they're consistent. So I'm looking let's put this up here. I'm looking at my firefly like this, and this is the front here. So I'm going to want to make the first one of the legs right there. So I'm going to use my marker to mark where that is. And of course my marker's being contrary and doesn't want to make a mark. There we go. And my second one will be there, and my third one will be there. So see, I've kind of made marks to guide me as to where I'm going to poke those holes. And then I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to kind of look to see that I'm making those holes in approximately the same place on the other side, because I'm going to put the pipe cleaners all the way through, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with the antenna. We're going to use first our push pin to get the hole started. So I'm going to get that in there, wiggle it around to make it bigger, and then push pin and wiggle around to make it bigger. And you might need to get a big person to help you with this step, because this is not the easiest thing to do, and it's a little bit stiff because of the plastic, and I don't want anybody poking fingers. So you might want to get a big person to help, or an older sibling, so that we don't end up with poked fingers. We want no poked fingers. And I'm putting those push pin holes right where I made those marks. Okay, now that I've made the initial holes, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to make them bigger, just like I did with the antenna holes. I'm just going to kind of wiggle that, wiggle that, wiggle that, wiggle that, wiggle that, and make it bigger. Now, if you have a pair of scissors that has a really sharp end, that might be a little bit easier to make a hole, or if you have an ice pick, or maybe if you have some skewers that you use, like to make kebabs, you could push that through that push pin hole to make it wider. The main reason that we're making it wider is so that when we push our pipe cleaner through it, it doesn't strip the fuzzy stuff off the pipe cleaner. Because really all a pipe cleaner is a wire with a bunch of fuzz wrapped around it to make it all pretty. And if you put it through too small a hole, it can kind of strip that fuzz off, and we don't want to strip that fuzz off. So we are going to widen our holes enough that that doesn't happen. Here we go. Okay, see how I've made those wider, and now I'm going to stick my push pin in, and I'm just going to kind of clean up the edges of that. And clean up the edges. This should be big enough. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this part, like I said, is a little bit tricky and not the most fun, but it's going to be really, really fun when we're done, because we're going to have this amazing little firefly with his butt that lights up, just like, you know, real fireflies have their butts that light up. And again, please be very, very careful. As you saw, my scissors slip there, and I could have hurt myself. So you want to be really, really careful with this part of it, and maybe get a big person to help you, because I don't want anybody cutting their fingers. Because, you know, it's not much fun if somebody gets hurt. So get some help with this if you need to. It helps to kind of hold this down like this. All right, I think I probably got those big enough. Again, I'm going to take my push pin and kind of clean up those holes a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put our pipe cleaner straight through. So here, I've got a pipe cleaner like this, and I'm going to put it through this hole like this on the outside. I'm going to push it through, and I'm going to put it out the hole, the corresponding hole on the other side. So this is the first hole there, and I'm going to put it out this hole on this side. This one might be a little bit small. I might have to make it bigger, but nope, there we go. All right, and we're going to pull this through all the way through, and you kind of want to center it. So you want about the same amount on either side. Okay, and then once you've got like pretty much the same amount on either side, you're going to bend and bend to make a leg. Okay. Now, you can trim these if you want to make them shorter. I think I am going to trim this because this is a really long leg. But first, let's get our other pipe cleaners in, and then we'll bend all our legs together. So I think I'll make this one black in the middle. So let's put this one through, and again through that hole, and out the corresponding hole, so the middle hole on the other side. And if you look, you can see yourself threading it through and pull that one through. Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through. And now you have 2 legs. And now the last one, same thing, all the way through. And pull, 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 pull. All right. Now those are some really long legs. Okay, really, really, really long legs. So I think I'm going to bend mine way up like this. Way up like that. On every single one of them, I'm going to bend it way up like that, and like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Bend it way up and way up. Kind of making a knee, a really tall knee. And then about right here at the bottom, I'm going to bend it out, and I think we'll make a little foot. I'll twist it around like that and make a little foot. And I'll do the same thing with this one in about the same spot and twist it around and make a little foot. And we're going to do that with all 6 of our legs, because we're going to want him to stand up when we're done. Okay, so let's finish. Let's get this guy done. About the same spot here, and loop, and twist, and here, and loop, and twist, and here, and loop, and twist. All right, let's kind of fiddle with him to get him to stand the way we want him to stand. So now we have our little firefly with his little legs sticking up, and he's kind of standing. What do you think of that? All right, so now we have some finishing touches that we're going to add. So let's put Google eyes on. So you're going to need a little bit of glue, which I didn't bring with me, so you're going to glue your Google eyes on, or you can draw eyes on, and I think I'm going to draw eyes on mine. You can use your wiggle eyes, but I think I will draw the eyes on mine. So I'm going to draw some eyes, and I'm going to give mine a smile because he's a happy firefly. So there, mine's got a little bit of a face on it. And again, you can glue your wiggle eyes on, or you can use a marker and draw a face. And now we're going to take our silver paper, and you're going to need some glue or some tape to attach your silver paper to. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to draw wing shapes, and you want to leave them connected in the middle. So what might make it easier is to fold your paper in half like this and draw your wing shape like that. And then cut at the same time like this. Now, you can make these as round or as ovoid. That means not quite a circle. Remember, ovals are flattened on the side. And now I have wings. You can use super glue, you can use white glue, or you can use some tape or whatever, and you're going to attach those wings right there in the middle of your firefly, right down that center line here in between. So I forgot to bring glue in with me, but I think you guys get the idea. So glue right there so you have wings on your firefly. And then the last thing that you're going to do, let's turn that light on. You're going to put that in the head because remember, we want the light to go out the bottom of our firefly, and we're going to close it up. And let me go turn the light out so you can see how fun that is. Do you see that? Do you see the little flickering light in our firefly? And you can play with the legs and the antenna until they look the way you want them to. And again, a little bit of glue or tape or whatever to put your wings on. Okay, I don't know about you, but I think that's really fun. You can take it outside and you can have your own firefly. Do you think maybe you could fool the real ones into thinking that this is a new friend that came to visit? I don't know. What do you think? Light Up Firefly Summer Reading Program, Oldham County Public Library. Join us. It's going to be a summer full of fun. Tales and tales for summer reading. Thank you.